Welcome to System at War, and we are going to be having a look at the system setup phase. As a little introduction, there are two packs of planet cards. The first has plain backgrounds, backs to them. The second set has spotty backs. The ones with the spotty backs are the planet tiles for actually going on the board itself. The ones with the plain backgrounds are ones that designate player ownership, which go off the board by the player mat, and the player would also keep all of their ground troops on that one to avoid the board itself getting too cluttered. Now, players are first of all dealt a home planet each. The home planets have this creamy coloured background to them, as opposed to other planets which have that sort of bluish grey background around the actual text box. As we can see on the board now, each player has been dealt one of these cards, and then the corresponding spotty backed card of the same planet has been placed on the board. Because this is a 3-player game, those 3 starting locations, all equally distant apart, are fixed locations. So we can see that each player is now set out on the board. The next thing to do is to take the cards with the spotty backs for actually laying on the board. In a 3-player game, each player is given 2 asteroids and 4 random planets which have been taken from the deck. Now, in these planets you will notice that there is 3 numbers going down the left hand side. The first number indicates the amount of reinforcements that a player receives at the start of a round. The second one indicates the number of resources that a player will receive from this planet at the start of a round. And the third number is the number of intel points bonus that a player receives at the start of a round. And then players will use those points to build and research and put extra troops on the planet. So each player is now shuffled and dealt these cards, and then they have to be positioned on the board. To decide who goes first in this phase of play, just roll a dice each. Whoever gets the highest goes first and go around in a clockwise direction. Mike goes first in this example. Players, first of all, get to pick one of their planets and place it adjacent to their home sector. This guarantees that players have a good planet to go into early in the game to help them expand more quickly. So Mike picks the Tropodome, which has 2 reinforcements, 4 resources and 2 intel, so it's quite a nice planet. That can go there. And then John can pick one of his planets. He will go for Radif. It hasn't got any reinforcements, but it has got 5 resources and 2 intel. And Sue has a little look through, and she's got Mandor, which is also 5 resources and 2 intel. And she'll put that there. Come back to Mike. Now we have to place in the inner ring. 3 tiles will be placed on the inner ring. Mike does the first one, can place anywhere he wants, and he can choose to place a planet, or he can choose to place an asteroid. He will place a planet, and he's deliberately going to place it quite far away because he doesn't believe anyone's going to get there that quickly, so after a turn or 2 it'll be closer to him when the board is rotated. John thinks, well, I don't want to use planets there, I want to try and get them closer to me early on. I'm going to stick an asteroid. He is not allowed to place it on a sector next to the one that has just been placed. So So he's got to place it on that half. So he will place it directly opposite by there. This leaves Sue, who will also stick an asteroid field in the middle, but again cannot place it on those two, so we'll place it on that one. Then we come back to Mike. Now Mike has to place in this middle ring. In total there will be 6 placements in the middle ring. Mike is not allowed to place on those 3 by there because they are next to the one that have just been placed. Now Mike wants to think, I want to expand quite quickly into the middle, so I'm going to place a planet by there. John, similar thoughts, let's place one there. And so on, we get people placing various planets. Sue actually thinks I'm going to plan for the next round afterwards. Right. He will stick an asteroid by there, thinking it might hamper him on the future round. Likewise, he will stick asteroids over there. And Sue will place another planet by there, and that makes 6 on the middle ring. Now we're back to the outer ring. Mike has an asteroid field and Takor left to place, so he picks one of those. He will stick a planet next to himself by there. Now John only has planets left to place because he's placed but 2 asteroids previously. So he will place one by there, one off him, and we'll get one by there. Then he will place an asteroid by there to stop Sue from expanding around on the outside too quickly. John will place another one by there. Sue will take her last asteroid field and place it on the other side of the board to act as a hindrance to those 2 players to move around during the game. And that concludes the system setup.